Great, we're getting ready to start court. Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is in session on today's date, February 13th, 2025. We have our jury review docket. First, we have 2 cases. First case is cause number 23 CCCR 0083. Second case is cause number 23 CCCR 0084. Both cases are styled as State of Texas versus Tracy Lee Steele. Ms. Steele, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How are you doing, Ms. Steele?
Well.
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Ms. Steele, you're represented in your case, on your cases by your attorney, Tom Roebuck. Attorney Roebuck, how are you doing?
I'm great, Your Honor.
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Well, state is represented in this case by Attorney Haley Simmons. Attorney Simmons, how are you doing?
I'm great. Thank you, Judge.
Okay, now, Mr. Roebuck, I guess Ms. Steele's cases are set for, I guess, an announcement. One of her cases, she has an active warrant. There was a surrender that was filed and signed by the bondsman in cause number 23 CCCR 0084. Is that correct?
Yes. Sir. You want me to give you the history of how we got to this point?
Well,
long story, huh?
well, I just need to actually know what you want to do in your
Well,
case.
There is, in the second case, that case grows out of the same fact pattern as the felony.
Same offense, that's the fact, yeah.
I have pending a motion to suppress. It's set for a hearing in the next couple of weeks.
Okay,
But-
in what court?
And drug.
Drug court, okay.
So if that gets granted, then it's gonna
Affect this case,
take care of this too.
okay,
If it doesn't get granted, then I've got some negotiations I have to go into, which would involve both of your cases and that case.
okay,
So if it's all right with the court, I'd like maybe a 30 or 45 day reset. For me to see what happens there, gives me time to then figure out what I'm gonna do.
okay,
And then I need a bond set on the first case where the AFRS has been.
okay. I think the magistrate has set the bond. Now, no, the bond, let me look at this here,
And if I might, I don't mean to interrupt the court, but I talked to the bondsman. He thought he was doing her a favor because she was in jail. He wanted her to get some more jail credit. So they got off the bond. It wasn't because she violated any
Mhm.
terms or conditions of any.
Okay, let me, the bond is already set, huh? Yeah,
Second case.
yeah, I'm seeing $1,000 here.
Right.
The case is hereby ordered for defendant's arrest. Bond is set at one, it's already set.
Okay.
Only thing I need to do, I need to, give me some conditions. I need to give us some bond conditions.
By the way, Judge, there is a drug patch condition on the felony.
Okay. Yeah, okay. See, she has two.
Believe it's one of the inmates.
No, I heard something. Okay,
It's an inmate, most likely.
beat on the wall or something.
She was just singing, Tina Turner was love got to do with
Okay. Okay, now, Ms. Steele, I'm gonna read you some bond conditions in both of your cases. And you will be able to get a copy of these bond conditions before you leave the court. Because I have to give it to the bailiff for the attorney. But this document is titled Standard Bond Conditions in County Court at Law Number 2. Following return of a criminal information in County Court at Law Number 2 of Jefferson County, Texas, all bail bonds executed for release of any defendant named herein are ordered subject to the additional conditions. Number 1, the defendant shall commit no offense against the laws of this state, any other state, or of the United States. Do you understand that condition? Condition number 2, the defendant shall submit to testing for drugs and alcohol at any time as directed by the court. The court may revoke the bond and order the arrest of any defendant who A, refuses to submit to a test for drugs and alcohol when directed to do so by the court, or B, submit to a test for drugs and alcohol, and the test indicates the presence of drugs or alcohol in the defendant's body. Do you understand that condition? And condition number 3 does not apply. However, condition number 4 does apply, and it states that a defendant whose information charges any offense listed under section 49.04 through 4906 of the Texas Penal Code, that's the DWI statute, shall not operate any motor vehicle unless the vehicle is equipped with an interlock device mechanism that makes impractical the operation of the vehicle if ethyl alcohol is detected in the breath of the operator, and said device shall be installed at the defendant's expense with written verification of such installation being submitted to the court on or before 3 days after the date. Do you understand that condition? And condition number 5, defendant shall obtain, maintain, pay for, and have no violations within an ignition interlock device, mobile breath device. Any violation will be grounds for revocation. Do you understand that? And the defendant must attend AANA meetings 3 times a week and provide proof to the court. And I have Ms. Mosby. Would she be allowed to bring this with her? Okay. These are, I'm gonna hand this to your attorney. The first document is the AANA sign-in sheet. And whenever you go, you'll sign in, and when you come back to court on your court date, you have to bring that with you so we can verify that you have been attending the AANA meetings. And these are locations of AANA meetings in Jefferson County. Okay?
Thank you.
So again, I mentioned to you, your bond was set at $1,000. And so you can follow the bailiff. You have a blessed day, Mr. Roebuck.
Thank you.
You're welcome. February, no. She just told me that her felony is set on February 24th. And so we're gonna reset this on the same date.
Actually, I'm scheduled to have an endoscope, so I'm probably gonna reset that.
Okay. Do you know,
But
we can give her another day if we wanted to keep them together.
yeah. Why don't,
Let's do this here. Let's put it on the 24th. When you reset the felony, reset this one too.
like,
Okay. Okay. All right, you're free, Father Beth, y'all have a blessed day. Okay, so you're free to go. You have a blessed day.
Good day, Mr. Roebuck.
Mr. Robot, she needs to give you something. court is back in session. Court is in session and calls number 24 CCCR 0030. Case is styled the state of Texas versus Donald Joe Wilson. Mr. Wilson, is that your full name? Mr. Wilson, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Wilson, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Wilson, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Wilson? That's good. Now, Mr. Wilson, you're represented in your case by Attorney Marva Provo. Attorney Provo, how are you doing? Ms. Provo, do you waive a record in Mr. Wilson's case?
Yes, sir, we do.
Did you, the state is represented, what you're gonna have to write up here is, they don't have a spot for, they have guilty, no contest, you're gonna have, what, true, yeah, MPRP true is, yeah. State is represented in this case by Attorney Shane Hilton. Attorney Hilton, how are you doing?
Good, Your Honor. How are you?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Mr. Wilson, I have before me a document that is titled Motion to Revoke Probation. This motion to revoke probation was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this motion, it alleges that you, Donald Joe Wilson, was tried in County Court at Law Number 2 of Jefferson County, Texas, on January 18th of 2024 for the Class A misdemeanor offense of criminal mischief. The court found that the evidence was sufficient to find you guilty, and your punishment was assessed at 180 days confinement in the Jefferson County Jail, and the fine was waived. The confinement was probated for a period of 1 year. In this motion, there are 4 allegations. State, are you abandoning allegation number 4?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Wilson, the state is abandoning allegation number 4. And what that means is they will only be proceeding on allegations 1, 2, and 3. Allegation number 1 alleges that you, Donald Joe Wilson, failed to report to the Jefferson County Probation Office as ordered by the court on or about September 24th, October 2024, November 2024, December 2024, and the first one was in September 2024, as directed in violation of condition 4 of your probation order. Is that true or not true?
True.
Allegation number 2 alleges that you, Donald Joe Wilson, failed to pay court assessed fees as ordered by the court. And as of December 16th, 2024, you were $3,685 in arrears in violation of condition number 9 of your probation order. Is that true or not true?
True.
True. Allegation number 3 alleges that you, Donald Joe Wilson, failed to never become intoxicated or to be under influence of any intoxicating substance. On or about August 8th of 2024 in Jefferson County, Texas, you, Donald Joe Wilson, did then and there become intoxicated and under the influence of intoxicating substance in violation of condition 15 of your probation order. Is that true or not true?
True.
Mr. Wilson, are you pleading true to allegations 1, 2, and 3 freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading true because they are true?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Wilson, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishment. This document is also labeled as State's Exhibit number 1. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay. On the second page of the same document, there are a set of initials DW that are on a line next to a box that's checked MTRP, which means motion to revoke probation, true to allegations 1, 2, and 3. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes.
On page 3 of this same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
And on the next document, that's titled trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, it is.
At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes checked. The top box that's checked states that this is a plea bargaining case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
Now, the bottom box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you are giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Wilson, before you signed and initialed all of these documents that I just showed you, did your attorney, Ms. Provo, go over these documents with you?
Yes, she did.
Did you understand everything that Ms. Provo went over?
Yes, sir.
Is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Sir.
Mr. Wilson, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, I am.
State?
State offers, state exhibit number 1, Your Honor.
Any objections? No objections. State's exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Ms. Provo, you have advised and counseled Mr. Wilson. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No.
Mr. Wilson, your attorney, Ms. Provo, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with her representation?
Yes, sir. Yes, I am.
I need the affidavit engine. Has she provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir. Yes, she is.
Mr. Wilson, I will accept your plea of true to allegations 1, 2, and 3. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand probation. And I also find that your plea and waivers was freely and voluntarily given. And I find that there is sufficient evidence to revoke your probation. Your probation is hereby revoked. Do you have an affidavit? Mr. Wilson. Well, state, do we have a plea bargaining agreement in Mr. Wilson's case?
Yes, Your Honor.
What is that agreement?
It's for 60 days county jail, and Mr. Wilson has served 20 days already here.
Okay. What is this court policy? You need to know, I have to see if he's able to pay it. Hold on a minute. While he's doing that, while she's doing that, could you have your client, all of this here is blank. I mean, he said he was indigent, but I don't see, he didn't even sign it. There's no information on here. $642. Now, Mr. Wilson, let me ask you this, but now the state is offering that you serve 60 days in Jefferson County Jail. You will receive credit for the 20 days that you have already served. The court cost in this case is $642. Are you able to pay the $642 a day? Okay. Now, your attorney has a document before you that is titled Jefferson County Affidavit of Indigence. That document needs to be filled out, and we'll give you some time to fill out the financial information on it. Okay. Yeah, he can fill it out right. Okay, now, Mr. Wilson. I have before me a document that is titled Affidavit of Indigence. Do you recognize this document?
Sir.
And on page 2 of this document, there's a signature above the line that is titled Defendant Signature. Is this your signature? Now, Mr. Wilson, is before you signed in this document, did you read the document? Did your attorney go over this document with you? And did you understand everything that your attorney went over?
Yes, sir.
Is everything in this document true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Wilson, the court is going to find that you are indigent. And basically, what that means pursuant to Article 42.15 of the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure, the court cost of $642 will be waived, which means you will not have to pay it. Now, Mr. Wilson, do you understand the state's offer and the court's finding in this case?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that it's fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept it?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Wilson, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Wilson, this will conclude your case. Just have a seat in that chair and wait for your name to be called because she has to make some adjustments on the paperwork.
Okay.
All right? Yeah, Brianna Welch. This is cause number 24 CCCR 1770. Case is style of state of Texas versus Brianna Rashawn Welsh. Ms. Welsh, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Welsh, would you please raise your right hand? Ms. Welsh, do you swear affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth shall help you God?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Welsh, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Ms. Welsh?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking, Ms. Welsh. The state is represented in this case by Attorney here, the Simmons, Attorney Simmons, how are you doing?
I'm great, Judge. Thank you.
And Ms. Welsh, I have before, wait, Ms. Welsh, you're represented in this case by your Attorney Marvel Provo. Attorney Provo, do you have a record in Ms. Welsh's case?
We doing good.
Ms. Welsh, I have before me a document that is titled information. Now, before we get started, did I swear you in?
Yes, sir.
Now, Ms. Welch, this document was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this document, it alleges that you, Brianna Rashawn Welch, on or about April 26th of 2024, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class B misdemeanor offense of criminal trespass. Ms. Welsh, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
To this charge, how did you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No content.
Are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Freely.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges?
Do not fight.
Okay, Ms. Welch, I also have before me a document on this tablet that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishment. This document is also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of this same document, there are a set of initials, BW, that are on the line next to boxes checked nolo contendere, which means no contest. Could you place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 3 of this same document, there is a signature above the line that is titled Defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
On the next document that's titled Trial Court Certification, a Defendant's Right of Appeal, you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on
sir.
the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
At the top of this document, there are two boxes checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that
Yes,
statement?
sir.
The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
I also have a document on paper that is titled misdemeanor plea admonishment. You recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Is this your signature online as titled
Yes,
defendant?
sir.
Now, Ms. Welch, before you signed and initiated these documents, did you read the documents?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand what you read?
Yes, sir.
Is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Now, Ms. Welch, go back to trial court certification. I see that you had signed Brianna W. In the other locations, you've been signing Brianna Welsh. Would you please finish signing your last name?
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Welsh, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
State offer states one.
Any objections?
No objection.
No objections. State's exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Ms. Provo, you have advised and counseled Ms. Welch. Is there any evidence that she is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Welch, your attorney, Ms. Provo, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with her representation?
Yes, sir.
Has she provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Welch, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is the agreement?
In exchange for defendant's plea, the state's offering 17 days in the Jefferson County Jail, credit for 17 days into tax and retire office costs.
Ms. Welch, the state is offering that you serve 17 days in the Jefferson County Jail, but you would not have to serve any more time in the Jefferson County Jail because you've already served 17 days in Jefferson County Jail. Therefore, you'll be given credit for the time that you have already served. The court costs in this case will be taxed and retired. That simply means that you would not be required to pay the court cost because the time that you're spent in jail has already paid it off. Therefore, the court costs will be taxed and retired. Ms. Welch, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Welch, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state, Ms. Welch. This will conclude your case. If you do not have anything else holding you in jail, you should be getting out of jail today.
Thank you,
Please
sir.
stand next to the bailiff and follow her directions.
Yes, sir.
Hollenbeck, Tracy Hollenbeck. Hollenbeck.
Okay. Good morning.
This is cause number 25CCCR 0018. Case is style of state of Texas versus Tracy Hollenbeck. Ms. Hollenbeck, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Hollenbeck, would you please raise your right hand? Swear affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Hollenbeck, you may put your hand out. How are you doing, Ms. Hollenbeck? How are you doing?
Oh, fine.
That's good. Ms. Hollenbeck, you're represented in this case by your attorney, Marva Provo, Attorney Provo, do you waive a record in Ms. Hollenbeck's case?
We do.
Ms. Hollenbeck,
Yes.
I have before me a document on my computer that is titled Information. This information was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information, Ms. Hollenbeck, it alleges that you, Tracy Hollenbeck, on or about November 30th of 2024, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed to Class A misdemeanor offense of resisting arrest. Ms. Hollenbeck, do you understand what you have been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, Ms. Hollenbeck, how do you plead guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
Are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges?
Yes.
Ms. Hollenbeck, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishment. This document is also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. Do you recognize this document?
Yes.
On page 2 of this same document, there's a set of initials on a line next to a box that's checked nolo contendere, which means no contest. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes.
On page 3 of this same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes.
On the next document, that's titled trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal. You recognize this document?
Yes.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes.
At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes.
The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes.
I also have a document on paper that is titled Discovery Certification. You recognize this document?
Yes.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes.
Ms. Hollenbeck, before you signed and initial all of these documents that I just showed you, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes.
And did you understand everything that your attorney went over?
Yes.
Is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
Ms. Hollenbeck, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, I am.
State offer states 1.
Any
No
objection? No objection. States Exhibit Number 1 will be admitted. Ms. Provo, you've advised and counseled Ms. Hollenbeck. Is there any evidence that she is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial? Ms. Hollenbeck, your attorney, Ms. Provo, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with her representation?
Yes, sir.
Has she provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes.
Ms. Hollenbeck, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is the agreement?
In exchange for defendant's plea, the state's offering 11 days in the Jefferson County Jail, credit for 11 days, and tax and retire all court costs.
Ms. Hollenbeck, the state is offering that you serve 11 days in Jefferson County Jail, but you will not have to serve any more time in the Jefferson County Jail in this case because you've already served 11 days in Jefferson County Jail. Therefore, you will be given credit for the time that you've already served. The court costs in this case will be taxed and retired. That simply means that you will not be required to pay the court costs because the time that you have spent in jail has already paid it off. Therefore, the court costs will be taxed and retired. Ms. Hollenbeck, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes.
Ms. Hollenbeck, I'll follow a plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Ms. Hollenbeck, if you do not have anything else holding you in jail, you should be getting out of jail today. Ms. Hollenbeck, would you please follow the directions of the bailiff? Once you finish following her directions, you can follow the bailiff and you have a blessed day.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Dustin Burnham. Okay, this is cause number 25 CCCR 0126. Case is styled the state of Texas versus Dustin Bailey Burnham. Mr. Burnham, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Burnham, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Burnham, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Burnham, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Burnham? I'm doing fine, thanks, Axon. Now, Mr. Burnham, you're represented in your case by your attorney, Marvel Provo. Attorney Provo, do you waive a record in Mr. Burnham's case?
We do.
Mr. Burnham, I have before me on my computer a document that is titled Information. This information was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information, it alleges that you, Dustin Bailey Burnham, on or about November 13th of 2024, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class B misdemeanor offense of theft. Mr. Burnham, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, how do you plead guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
Are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily? And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges? Mr. Burnham, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of this same document, there's a set of initials DB on the line next to a box that's checked Nola Contendere. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir.
And Nola Contendere means no contest. On page 3 of the same document, there's a signature above the line that's titled defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
And on the next document that's titled trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
There are 2 boxes checked at the top of this document. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
Second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
I also have a document that is titled Discovery Certification. You recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes,
Mr. Burnham, before you signed and initialed all of these documents that I just showed you, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
yes, sir.
Did you understand everything that your attorney went over?
Yes, sir.
Is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Burnham, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
State, I have before me State's Exhibit Number 1. State, would you like to offer State's 1 in evidence?
Yes, Your Honor.
No,
In- No objection. State's Exhibit Number 1 will be admitted. Ms. Provo, you have advised in counsel, Mr. Burnham, is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
no.
Mr. Burnham, your attorney, Ms. Provo, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with her representation?
Yes, sir.
Has she provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Burnham, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
Your Honor, we'd ask court for 50 days county jail with credit for time served. And I said, all court costs be taxed and retired.
Mr. Burnham, the state is offering that you serve 50 days in the Jefferson County Jail, but you will not have to serve any more time in the Jefferson County Jail on this case because you've already served 50 days in the Jefferson County Jail. Therefore, you'll be given credit for the time that you have already served. The court costs in this case will be taxed and retired. And what that means is you will not be required to pay the court costs because the time that you have spent in jail has already paid off the court costs. Therefore, the court costs will be taxed and retired. Mr. Burnham, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Burnham, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Burnham, if you do not have anything else holding you in jail, you should be getting out of jail today. Mr. Burnham, would you please stand next to the bailiff, follow her directions. Once you finish following her directions, you can follow the bailiff and you have a blessed day.
Thank you.
Michael A. Brizano. This is cause number 25 CCCR 0232. Case is styled State of Texas versus Michael A. Brizano. Mr. Brizano, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Brizano, would you please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Brizano, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Brizano? I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Mr. Brizano, you're represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney Marvin Provo. Ms. Provo, do you waive a record in Mr. Brizano's case?
We do not.
Now, Mr. Brizano, I have before me a document on my computer that is titled information. This information was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information, it alleges that you, Michael A. Brizano, on or about August 29 of 2024, while you were operating a motor vehicle in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated with an alcohol concentration level of 0.15 or more. State, are you abandoning the enhancement paragraph?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, the state is abandoning the enhancement paragraph, Mr. Brizano. And what that means is instead of you being charged with a Class A DWI, you'll be charged with a lesser included offense, which is a Class B misdemeanor DWI. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Now, to the Class B misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated, which allegedly occurred on or about August 29 of 2024, while you were operating a motor vehicle in a public place in Jefferson County, Texas, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
Are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Brizano, I also have before me a document on my on this tablet that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. Do you recognize this document? On page 2 of this same document, there are a set of initials on a line next to a box that's checked guilty. Did you place your initials on this document? On page 3 of the same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
And on the next document, it's titled trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal. You recognize this document? And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement? I also have a document on paper that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant? Mr. Brizano, before you signed and initialed these documents, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand everything that your attorney went over?
Yes, sir.
Is everything in these documents true and correct
Yes, sir.
to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Brizano, are you a citizen of the United States?
Sir.
State, would you like to offer State's Exhibit number 1?
Yes, Your Honor.
No
Any-
objection.
No objection. State's Exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Ms. Provo, you've advised and counseled Mr. Brizano Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
And Mr. Brisano, your attorney, Ms. Frobo, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with her representation?
Yes, sir.
Has she provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Brisano, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that there is sufficient evidence. Find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
Your Honor, we would ask the court for 180 days county jail, probated for a period of 1 year of community supervision. We ask for the payment of the court costs and a community service of 40 hours, plus the interlock device, and then the standard DWI conditions of
Yeah.
probation.
Okay, and there's a fine in this case.
$500, Your Honor.
Okay, what is the score cost? $392. Let's go to point. No, this is Gerald. You don't do that on this. Now, Mr. Brisano,
Yes, sir.
the state is offering that you serve 180 days in the Jefferson County Jail, but you will not be required to serve any time in the Jefferson County Jail because you'll be placed on probation for a period of 1 year. During the 1 year probationary period, you will be required to pay a fine of $500 plus court costs of $392 plus a DWI conviction fine of $100 plus probation fee of $60 a month plus a urinalysis fee of $15 a month plus a reimbursement fee of $15. You will also be required to pay Jefferson County DWI initial evaluation fee of $125 on the day of the plea should a further evaluation be needed. You'll be required to pay an additional $50. Now, your total monthly installments, that is the total amount, I forgot to, the total amount that you will be required to pay each month, in this case, is $173 a month. Will you be able to pay the $173 each month?
Yes, sir.
You'll also be required to perform 40 hours of community service, install the interlock device on any vehicle that you own or operate, attend and complete a DWI education class, have an alcohol assessment, and adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of this DWI probation. Do you understand the state's offering?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Sir.
Do you accept the state's offer?
Sir.
Mr. Brisano, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Brisano, if you do not have anything else holding you in jail, you should be getting out of jail today. Mr. Brisano, just have a seat in that first chair and wait for your name to be called, and then you can follow the bill. Hey, this is cause number 24 CCCR 1850. Case is style the state of Texas versus Amanda L. Robertson. Ms. Robertson, is that your full name?
I go by Victoria, no last name. Victoria, no last name,
Victoria and the last name?
no last name.
Oh, you just call, you you go by Victoria. Okay, but what is your name? I
Victoria.
didn't ask you what you went by. What is your birth name? Is your name, was your birth name Amanda L. Robertson?
Oh, you can call me that, I guess.
Yeah, okay. Now, Miss Robertson, would you please raise your right hand? Your right hand, not both hands. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
That's correct.
You may put your hand down. How are you doing, Miss Robertson?
And Robertson's not my birth name, not. It's Victoria.
Oh, well, how are you doing, Victoria?
I have that Victoria Hanford and Victoria A.
I didn't understand what she said.
Victoria's what?
Victoria Hanford and Victoria A.
Stanford and Aiden, possibly, Your Honor.
Upon, no.
Okay, now, Miss Victoria. You're represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney Marva Provo. Now, Attorney Provo, the court is going to conduct a hearing pursuant to Texas Code of Criminal Procedure, Article 46B.004, raising the issue of incompetency to stand trial. The court is going to conduct an informative query. Now, all trials and proceedings in Texas pursuant to Article 1.24 should be public. However, pursuant to the case of Lilly versus State 365, Southwest 3rd 321, the right to public trial is not absolute and may be outweighed by other competing interests, such as the interest in security, to prevent the disclosure of non-public information, and to ensure that the defendant receives a fair trial. Ms. Provo, are you requesting that this hearing be closed to the public to prevent the disclosure of non-public information? The court finds that the party seeking to close the hearing has advanced an overriding interest that is likely to be prejudiced to a client in that it would disclose non-public information. The closure is no broader than necessary to protect Ms. Provo's client's interest. The trial court have considered other reasonable alternatives to closing the proceeding, and the courts find that the closure is adequate. And at this time, this hearing will be closed to the public.